Hey guys, this is Jean-Claude, and we have another patron opening. We're actually going to have patron openings the whole rest of this week, and then after that we'll go back to actually opening some decks for myself. Today's deck is going to be for Jeff Patterson, and good luck to you, sir. Why is it not? Oh, I'm going to stickers a little bit further out. Maybe it's normal. Felt further out. Alright, what beautiful houses are you going to find inside of your deck? It's a green Archon, Logos, Dis. What house are we hoping for here? I personally like Sanctum with Capture. Oh, it's Brobnar. The name of the deck is Kapaton Stacks Juror. First Juror we've ever seen on the channel. Oh, actually before we pull that up, let's check out the Archon itself. It's kind of cool actually. First time we've seen, actually all of these designs. That's the first time we've seen the head with like the spikes coming out, maybe horns. First time we've seen these little bubbles up here. Yeah, this is pretty cool. And we're gonna go with these are its hands. Very awkward placement for those hands. So this would be like its shoulders, arms, and hands. All right, guys, let's see what we have inside today's deck. Alright, we are starting off with Logos. It's Seismo Entangler. It's an artifact. Action. Choose a house during your opponent's next turn. Creatures of the chosen house cannot be used to reap. That's a good card. Director of ZYX, 3 power elusive. At the start of your turn, archive the top card of your deck. I just want to say I think this card's really good. I love the fact they gave it 3 power and elusive. Pretty sure this card still would have been really good at 2 power and elusive, so being able to survive both a first fight and a lot of the smaller action damaging spells is really good. Brain Eater, 6 power. After a creature is destroyed fighting Brain Eater, you draw a card. Wild Wormhole. Amber at every play the top card of your deck. Standardized Testing. Play, destroy each creature with the lowest power and each creature with the highest power. I do like playing this card if I'm going second. It's the first card I play. Negate our opponent's first turn if they played a creature and then proceed to do anything else we like. We have 2 of those to increase those odds. Oh, Professor Sutterkin, 2 power Reap. Draw a card for each friendly Logos creature. Poke, 1 amber in every play. Deal 1 damage to an enemy creature. If this damage destroys that creature, draw a card. Let's see some Logos creatures in here. Library of Babel, it's an artifact. Action, draw a card. Helper Bot, 1 power. Play. You may play 1 non-Logos card this turn. That's a great card. Igor, 2 power. Play. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 to your hand and discard the other 2. Archimedes, 2 power elusive. Each of Archimedes' neighbors gains destroyed. Archive this creature. We had Dis in here, right? It'd be nice to get Unlocked Gateway with this card because of the shenanigans that would ensue. Now we're on to Dis, so we're going to find out if we have that Unlocked Gateway any moment. Tolas, 1 power elusive. Each time a creature is destroyed, its opponent gains 1 amber. A lot of times you just want to discard this card. You really have to, if you're playing an Archon event, really study your opponent's card and figure out who's going to get the most use out of this and really plan accordingly. Practice with this card a lot. Orb of Invidious, probably my favorite discard. It's an artifact. Amber in every plate. After a creature reaps, you stun it. This is such a good card if you get a huge Amber Rush deck. We didn't have too much inside of Logos. We had too many creatures for that. And we only had maybe 1 or 2 actions. It was Wild Wormhole and Poke. Yeah, Wild Wormhole and Poke, I believe, were the only ones that had the Amber attached. So yeah, it's not going to work out too well here, but depending on what the rest of the deck does, this could still be a good card. Soul Keeper, it's an upgrade. Amber at every plate. This creature gains destroyed. Destroy the most powerful enemy creature. Library of the Damned, it's an artifact. Action, archive a card. Gone Goozle, amber at every plate. Deal 3 damage to a creature. If it is not destroyed, its owner discards a random card from their hand. Blood Shard, amp 2 power. After a creature reaps, its controller must sacrifice it. Yerk, 4 power. Play, choose and discard a card from your hand. This is a really good card. I love being able to cycle, get a little bit further into my deck, find my better cards for whatever the matchup may be. It's just so good. And you have 2 of them. Nice. Strek, 2 power elusive. While Strek is not on the flank, your opponent refills their hand to 1 less card during the draw card step. Not finished with you. Amber in every plate. Shuffle any number of creatures from your discard pile into your deck. That's pretty good because we could start returning these cards that help us cycle the Yerks, the Igor, the Helper Bot, Sutterkin. Just getting all those back into the deck is a very powerful thing. And you have 2 of those. Okay, interesting. Oh, Hand and Exhume. Amber in every plate. Choose a creature in your discard pile. You may play that creature as if it belonged to the active house and was in your hand. That is so good. Now we're on to Brobnar. It's Take That, Smarty Pants. Amber in every play. Play, steal 2 amber if your opponent has 3 or more Logos cards in play. Very situational, but not too bad. You always get the amber with a chance of stealing 2. Sound the horns, Amber, and have you play it. Discard cards from the top of your deck until you either discard a Brobnar creature or run out of cards. If you discarded a Brobnar creature this way, you put it into your hand. Screech Bomb, it's an artifact. Omni effect, sacrifice Screech Bomb, your opponent loses 2 Amber. Grunt Buggy, Remember we had the big 6-power Logos creature, but I don't think we had anything 5 or higher in Dis. It's not coming to me if we did. But Grunt Buggy, you get Amber whenever you play it. It is an artifact. Your opponent's keys cost +1 Amber for each friendly creature with power 5 or higher. Your keys cost +1 Amber for each enemy creature with power 5 or higher. Let's hope we see some really big Brobnar creatures. Make every single Brobnar creature here on out a 5 or higher power. I would love to see that for this deck. Flamethrower. I now have a new appreciation for this card because of the guitar. It's an artifact. Action. Deal 1 damage to a creature with a 1 damage splash. Blood of Titans. Upgrade, Amber, whenever you play it. This creature gets +5 power, so that'll make a creature big for the Grunt Buggy. Tremor. Stun a creature and each of its neighbors. Where are the creatures? Here we go. Groke, 5 power. Fight. Your opponent loses 1 Amber. Gauntlet of Command. It's an artifact. Action. Ready and fight with a friendly creature. Hold up. Have we only had 1 Brobnar creature so far? Oh, wow. Wow, that is crazy. Absolutely crazy. There's 4. This is the 8th card in Brobnar. There's only 1. Now, Sound the Horns kind of counts as another one because it helps you find one, but this, we need to finish out with creatures. Okay, thank goodness we have another. It's Kapaton, 5 power before the fight. Deal 2 damage to each neighbor of the creature Kapaton fights. Coward's End, oh boy. Destroy each undamaged creature, gain 3 change. I just realized we didn't have Unlocked Gateway, but we do have this to combo with Archimedes, so that's pretty good. And one last card, what is it? It's Bingle Bang Bang. He's only 2 power though. Before the fight, deal 5 damage to each neighbor of the creature Bingle Bang Bang fights. Oh boy. We did not have many big creatures. There was a 5, another 5 in Grope, and I'm pretty sure there was none in Dis, right? Ouch, yeah, there was none in Dis that were big, and you only had the 6 power here. Right here, Brain Eater. Oh, that's a shame. That Grunt Bug, you might have to get discarded. Ah, that's awful. Alright, let's count up the Amber here. It's not going to be too many. We didn't have too many in Brobnar. We didn't have that many in Logos like we discussed earlier. Pretty sure we don't get that Amber from the Grunt Buggy. Okay, so we had a little bit in Dis. Orb got us 1, okay. Ooh, man, okay. So this deck... Ooh, okay, let's count up the Amber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9, 10, not counting that one, 11, ooh, only 11 Amber, oh man. Okay, so 11 Amber isn't necessarily terrible, but whenever we start to have cards that aren't really that good inside the deck, like the Grunt Buggy, and now because the Amber count is pretty low, Orb of Invidious is a little bit worse too. We don't want to be stunning our creatures if that's going to be our main source of getting Amber. So that's kind of a shame. We already have 2 cards that aren't that great in this deck. And yeah, oh man. Alright, well let's at least talk a little bit about the combos and things that are going well for this deck. It does cycle pretty fast. Let's kind of talk about those cards. Let's bring them all forward. So you've got Director that does it. Just look at the cyclers, okay? Alright, so you got 2 Yerks. Archimedes doesn't get you there, but Igor and Helperbot, and I think that's the last one. Professor Sutterkin sometimes can get us there. Brain Eater can draw some cards too, but we'll basically count Brain Eater and Sutterkin as only 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways to get deeper into our deck. That's pretty good because it'll help us find the cards that are going to matter. The Not Finished With Yous are pretty good as well. There's one thing I want to talk about, which is we had only, 3 Brobnar creatures? And then 1 Sound the Horns. Let's get those up. Someone want to point out that I at least like, okay, this will make a creature bigger too for Grunt Buggy, but yeah, still not good enough. So let's see, we had, yeah, the 3 creatures and a Sound the Horns. One thing that I kind of like here is this Sound of Horns, 33% time is going to find any one of these cards, right? Well, these 2 right here, Bingle Bang Bang Kapaton, being able to do some additional damage to neighbors is actually pretty good because if you already have out Gauntlet of Command, that means immediately that turn you'll be able to use it and spread around some damage. And this can, in some cases, be able to, each one of these could actually take out 3 of your opponent's creatures. So that's pretty good. I like that. The problem is it is reliant on having the Gauntlet of Command out to be able to do that. The Brobnar itself, man, I think it was overall pretty weak. Ah, geez, yeah. It's kind of a shame. And Flamethrower, as much as I like the artwork, it's not that great of a card without having good cards to combo with it. Like, this is a good card if you're able to, boom, right? You splash out 3 damage. Next thing you know, you play Save the Pack or something like that. It's a little bit worse if you use Flamethrower to splash damage on your opponent's creatures, try and do it over a couple turns, and you just have it at Coward's End. Now, on the flip side, you could Flamethrower your own creatures so that they all survive. Right? That's not too bad because this will destroy all undamaged ones. Now your creatures only have 1 damage on them. That's not too terrible. You have a lot of 2-power creatures in here. It will kill your Tolas and the Helper Bot. But yeah, overall, what's the actual creature count of this? We have the 3 Brobnar, 4, we'll call it 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 there so far. Oops. 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh wow, only 15 creatures. And then like Tolas, we don't really want to play too often. The Blood Shard Imp is probably going to hurt us more than it hurts our opponents. Ah, man, this is a shame. Gosh. And I love Grok. I haven't seen Grok for a while. This is such a good card. Fighting elusive creatures, making your opponent lose an Amber, breaking the elusive to then fight with something else typically, but we just have so few Brobnar creatures. It's not that great. I guess you can at least still Gauntlet Command it. Break a 2-power creature's elusive first, make him lose an Amber. Gauntlet Command it again. Kill that creature. He only has 2 on it. Make him lose another Amber. That's not too bad. But yeah, this is, man. This is a shame. Even the not finished with yous, like, it kind of helps the creature count, but not really. I feel like standardized testing is going to hurt us a little too much because we had a lot of 1 and 2s. And then kind of like mid-range creatures. Yeah, oh man. So we at least went through some of the combos, but unfortunately this deck is just not going to be that great. Is it going to perform at Chainbound? Not really. I mean, it can have like the Nut Straw sometimes, which is, you know, once again, just cycling to its better cards. If you get lucky and keep a Professor Sutterkin out, I mean, that could at least help you win a game. Especially if your opponent was reaping. Maybe they're stunned, so they actually can't fight the Professor Sutterkin. That could maybe go your way. But yeah, overall, this is a little bit of a weaker deck. Dang. Alright guys, well, the score on this thing, I mean, it's probably like right around a D. I hate to say that, but that's just what it is. Alright guys, well, thank you very much for watching my videos, and I will see you next time.